Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning from the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel where publishing and marketing finally meet. If you're new to the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel, welcome this morning. I am Arthur Podcaster Teta Sherry, and this is a safe hub where writers and independent entrepreneurs and uh, independent homeschool parents of all sort, can find good advice. I try to do my inspirational segments too on this channel if you're new. So that's what segments like this morning look like. Happy Saturday morning to you guys out there. If you're like me, you're simply happy it's the weekend because you're off work. And that's just what that is. Okay. So, congratulations out there. If you made it through the week, you made it to see another Friday, and now it's Saturday morning. Um, just congratulations. It's not easy making it through the regular work weeks like we used to pre pandemic, right? Uh, not just getting to work in the form of transportation. I'm just saying getting through the stressors and the changes that constantly evolve around us is not easy. So I give you guys our kudos out there. So once again, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and you can definitely learn more about what inspired this channel and our mission to support independent, individuals interested in independent authorship or just independent entrepreneurs altogether. Learn what inspired us to start a channel to promote and market those guys and their services, and also how we've been helping independent authors bring their vision alive as far as publishing books at www.contentcrownpublications.com. Don't forget to give my video a like, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in with us slowly but surely. And also, your support just in 2022. Now look how fast this year has gone, guys. Look how fast it's already about to be October 2022. I don't know if y'all are looking around and see that, but it is almost 2023. I'm just giving everybody a quick reminder that we're very new. Crown Content is very new to the YouTube family, and we have no regrets. We have no shortcomings or regrets. Looking back on how far we've come is growing, as a small publication services business as well, right? And it's like a tree sometimes with vines and branches that branch out because sometimes your vision wasn't even big enough as the possibilities. That's the Arthur and me. Sometimes I just end up spitting out these random quotes that help me see life from a different perception. But yeah, it's true. Sometimes maybe your vision doesn't even amount to the actual possibilities, but it's just good to vision. You can't start a dream. You can't start out finding your purpose without that vision to begin with. But it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying sometimes that vision does not even surmount. It doesn't even come close to what the realistic possibilities, are within your caliber of career choice or independent work as a freelancer entrepreneur. I guess I'm encouraging you guys before I even get into my video podcast topic for this Saturday morning to, continue to vision, continue to dream, continue to have that gut feeling that tells you, I want to chase my purpose. I want to find out who it is I am. I want to feel that. I want to find out what it is all I'm supposed to do. And I'm really going to save a little bit of what I'm saying right now for y'all might want to tune in with me again at 9:30 Mountain Time this morning. I'll be covering another topic that's been kind of overdue when it comes to a discussion of deja vu versus intuition. See how I go into this today, which y'all don't know the comment there, but if a particular podcast video this morning, uh, I'm going to talk a little bit about new age rappers dying at a just more rapid rate, and not just in 2022. how I've been noticing it, and we're just going to cover a topic like this, and also the rising rate. And I've talked about this on other podcast discussions. If you're one of my faithful subscribers, once again, we are thankful for your support, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with somebody. If I end up hitting a nail somewhere on one of these topics that you can agree with or that you feel like somebody can use, go ahead and give it a share too. And we appreciate those likes. One like is free, and it's support, but it's free. Just reminding you guys, don't forget to go back and like these videos. So, and then if you're new, welcome. Like I said, you're always welcome to tune in with us live. Here is the link actually down here too, guys, in the comments of the chat where I left the link if you feel like tapping in or joining in to the discussion this morning. Um, I gave y'all the information about our website as well too. If you're new to my channel, contentcrownpublications.com. It's also in the comments of the chat. Okay, the link right here at the bottom of the screen, if you're looking at your screen, Spreaker.com/show/5379253. That link that's in the comments of the chat also is where you can access previously recorded podcast segments with independent authors and entrepreneurs. Crown Content Publications has already been honored and blessed with the opportunity to connect and network with and help them promote their services and independent work right here on our YouTube channel or our separate podcast show that you guys can also find us Crown Publishing Content on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast. You guys can find us on platforms like that uh, in 2022. And we have been out here doing our best to keep the power of business networking alive by supporting other small businesses, right? Because we just, when I say support, I don't even know if that's the right word. Like, we totally understand what it must be like for businesses, especially independent artists of any sort, freelancers of any sort, trying to remain afloat and keep their businesses afloat during the post-pandemic after effects and things like that. So um, I don't want people to think that just because I shout out the independent freelancers and entrepreneurs at Crown Content Publications that we don't understand the working class or other people that may have, struggled and overcame some things to stay afloat during the pandemic. We totally understand that all the way around. Um, but that's just where we like to come in at. If even if you haven't started a business and you have those thoughts and ideas and that vision we just got through talking about, right? Discussing. We like to chime in that way too. That's why all I can really do at the end of the day is encourage you guys to visit my website soon, www.contentcrownpublications.com, and see how it is we might be able to help you with a business consultation where we sit down and we kind of talk about how what would be ultimately your options. What's the best route to begin with when it comes to your vision? Because it might not look like Jack's or Jenny's or Jill's did. And that's what I believe a real consultation, business consultation should look like. You know, well, there's all type of business consultations, but when it comes to a business consultation where we are discussing your options, grants, and loan, what might be the best loan route, credit, and all these different things when it comes to your business, I call that a consultation. So that website is where you can find our, business hours, business phone number, how to book or reserve a slot to become a guest on our podcast show, all that kind of information. Recently published books by myself in my independent authorship route. Because I don't know if I always stay that route, if that makes sense, guys. Like I've personally been thinking about, taking some other options and things because I'm getting a little more serious about my work. But it didn't mean I wasn't serious as an independent author. And that's why we started on the level we started at on, like, hey, even in my independent authorship, I wanted to help other independent authors, support them, connect with them, network with them. And that's what that story is going to be. And that's what it still is right now. So you guys can also contact me anytime. See, I only got business hours like any other business and that business phone number like that. But you can always email us at contentcrownpublications at AOL.com. I'm sorry, guys, crown content, crown content publications at AOL.com. And I usually respond to emails. I try to get back to those as soon as possible, in the best timely manner possible. But when it's, it depends on, and don't forget, guys, when y'all are reaching out to me, to leave something in that subject title. Because, like, see, if it's interested in a homeschool consultation, interested in a business consultation, interested in a publication services consultation, because you don't went and checked out the website at the bottom of the screen, and you got to, get familiar with some of our services and what we've been trying to do. Leave that in the subject title when you email me. And I'm not saying that you become more of a priority for me to respond faster, but we do try to, and because the consultations are brand new in 2022. You see, if you need promotion, regular promotion on our expert podcast, email me and make sure the subject titles. First, have as y'all see the problem because I know and I try to do a better job that we have people that are going to be new to the Crown family who might come in and listen to us on YouTube and things like that. Kind of want to be filled in. I don't want them to have to go through 25, 30 videos to find out more about what we do on the business side, just because my inspirational, motivational, just kind of topics like this more. Yeah, we do our business side too, so putting that out there. And like I put in the comments in the chat, guys, you can also on that website find Crown Content merch, like t-shirts and our tablet journals for writers. Now you can find a tablet journal anywhere, but that's the great part about what we offer when it comes to how you might be able to support us in very small ways, because we don't charge a dime. We don't charge our guests a dime to, talk to us for an hour on our show. That was our mission. That's why I use the word mission. You know what I mean? So those are just small ways, guys. You'll see the journals on the website and the t-shirts, the Crown Content Publications t-shirts, guys. You can they range from sizes of medium all the way to XXL. If you need something bigger than an XXL, my business phone number is on the website there, guys. Okay, along with the business hours, and then I shouted that email out about 3 minutes ago. Just rewind the video, Crown Content Publications at AOL.com. If you need a bigger size and you want to put an order in, just pretty much contact me, make me aware of that, and we can still get you an order. But for now, we only got them through XL sizes. Okay, guys? So, boom. Let's dive into the Saturday sunrise podcast discussion topic I want to talk about this morning. Okay. I hope y'all are doing okay out there. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. We wish you a happy weekend with your families and loved ones. And thank you for clicking on my video and for your support. I was actually going back listening to some of my probably my most recent three videos, and y'all forgive us on the Crown Content Publication side because I'm not gonna go back and delete a whole recorded hour podcast video. I mean, just for YouTube, this is my beginning channel days and everything as a self-publisher, author, and entry level podcaster. I'm not gonna go back and delete a whole video. I mean, there have been some that I've made private or went back and deleted, but I'm not gonna delete one just because there's a few glitches in the beginning of the podcast video, especially with that very last one where I was talking about Jackson, Mississippi and the flooding. If you're a subscriber, if you're new, that was probably one of my last discussion topics, and what the parents might have been going through out there because the water had been contaminated and everything from their weatherization issues with the flooding and how it affected their I need to do a follow up on that too, y'all. I really do, on that story and how they've been doing out there. I mean, I don't know. Do any of you guys have family in Mississippi out there? But I'm gonna make sure I follow that story. I covered that one, I believe, 7 days ago. Y'all can go check that out. I believe it's the video right before this one. Um, and I talked about what the parents might have been going through with the kids having to go back virtual because maybe even the water at the public schools had been, you know, affected. So I mean, it was either tell all the parents to make sure the kids got water. I mean, they end up closing the school behind this, and water can end up getting contaminated in any local. But y'all can go check that out, that video out. It's the one before this one. Where I wanted to open the eyes of the rest of our nations. See, a lot of things I comment and give my expressions and opinions about just from my own point of view and opinions because I believe as an individual we should actually learn as much as we can through other people's experiences, through the things that we see around us, through um, things that we know didn't really work for somebody else, or yeah, we should be learning from things more than anything, millennials, but any human being. I believe it. So that was another one of those things, and why I did that video. So I'm just giving y'all a heads up. It might glitch at the beginning, not this one, but the one before this one about the Jackson, Mississippi topic and the flooding and the water contamination out there here recently. Um, because a lot of parents found themselves right back homeschooling. Haven't we done our homeschool discussion topics right here on the Crown Content Publications channel? And we're not in Jackson, Mississippi. We don't have to be in order to try to help people with resources and referrals, or even become an organization that's able to help homeschool parents more because you saw more. I mean, once the kids went virtual to me, and we all saw there was a very possible option when things like too many people get sick or water is contaminated, whatever it is, or the weather messed up, it did great damage in an area. So now the kids are out of school, or wars that cause uh, a gap or some type of different, delay in the youth's education. See, before us, generations ago, there was always a way that these pioneers found a way to educate their kids no matter what storm or weatherization issue they were going through. Now, don't get me wrong, I've even been, you know, I'm not saying I got all the experience in the world, but I've met people. I mean, there's a whole celebrity out here now. I'm not finna name names because I'm not picking on them, who people joke about can't read, but he's a filthy millionaire, right? So it does kind of depend on the environment and the options you had, the resources you had, and things like this. We know some people didn't even get to graduate, or they dropped out as early as sixth, eighth, 11th grade. Okay, some did. To me, that has never affected a person's character. You would want to be as educated, or when you are able to change that situation as an adult and you like, hey, I want to go back and get my GED, or I want to go back and tidy up in this subject or this area that I didn't really get to, why not be educated? And that's about not just anything, but educated about the things you need to know, you need to be aware of. And that can get you in a better position as far as income too, because that's just the society that we live in. So that was the video before us, before this one I did about the water in Jackson, Mississippi. It glitches a little at the beginning, like I said, probably the first 14 minutes of that video, but I'm not going to delete it because as I kept listening, the end was a lot better. And you can still kind of hear the direction I was trying to go with that video discussion topic. And it was a good one. Thank you for all those who left comments on that one too, and for your support and encouragement. You guys feel free anytime to send me tips, advice, or ways we can network, connect. I can learn more, right? And grow, and also maybe teach others. You can always email me at crowncontentpublications at AOL.com. Thanks for tuning in to my Saturday Sunrise video discussion podcast topic. So we were going to talk about the new age rappers first. If you saw that in the description section, it's like they just been dying really quick, left and right. 1 second, guys. Yep, they've just been, and it's sad. It's sad for anybody to, because we all have a time to leave here, but it's been another one of those trending topics lately that is hard for anybody to ignore because even though I chose to look at the hip hop culture, look at what's been going on with rappers, it doesn't mean that that is the only industry or area that I have been seeing or witnessing in the media, in the news, that violence has been taking place, not just in the rap and hip hop industry culture. No, no. Violence has escalated to, in my opinion, uh, it's escalated to a new level. And when I say it in those words, I mean even the very reasons today that are quote unquote, new generation, or it just seemed like everybody. The reason somebody will want to go there and be violent these days too has definitely changed. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I mean. Give me 1 second. I'm back. When I take my pause breaks, it's because I'm probably warming up my coffee, not wanting to be rude with you guys here. That's why I like when we do our panel shows better, and we are going to have those panel shows. None of that is going away. That's still uh, something that, because I wouldn't bring it up if people didn't. Sometimes people will request, they'll kind of like see that, hey, if you had a panel on the topics you'd be covering, like, man, that would, we're not just talking about with the views, but just getting people's perceptions, their different opinions about things too. Right, right, right. And it's with these type of topics, it's not always easy, though we all know we should all probably speak up more about it. We should probably speak up more about it and actually play our parts as individuals with doing more about it. See, speaking up and actually doing something is two different things. All right. So, like I said, I use rap and hip hop culture just for like kind of like an example because I just got through talking about how I believe as individuals in society, we should always learn as much as we can. There's a way you can learn about something without down talking what you're actually how you're learning it, because sometimes it's called experience, and even if you didn't experience death through certain things or violence getting to a certain level with you and another person because of certain, if you've never personally experienced it, all you got to do is sit back. Really, number one, you can research it, or somebody you know probably has gone through it because that's part of research too. But it's kind of almost hard to miss. Violence is definitely at a more uh uh all-time high, and not just the cities we've known them in our nation anyway. Like, I don't even want to name none specifically because once again it goes back to that word experience. I don't know. To me, it's just hard to miss. Like even people's triggers, they're more easily triggered in the new millennium, in the new age. I mean, I know I'm not saying nothing new, but I got to bring up things like this as I dive into a topic. Like, why are more rappers dying? Okay, it's a trending topic right now. It is. It's a trending topic because we just had another young brother, uh, another story, and before him it was the rapper Trouble. I mean, it's been everywhere with rappers. Now, I'm not coming from the conscious community side of things. I'm not coming from any side of it, but that it's not just happening in the rap and hip hop culture community. Mm-mm. I mean, because I see what some people are already trying to say, like, hey, it seems to be the same rappers from the same label. And no, 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 no. This been happening since the night. I mean, rappers have been leaving here. Sometimes it's unfortunate. All kind of superstars and celebrities. They leave here, but we talking about violence today, this morning. We talking about violence in the rap and hip hop culture. Mm. And then we talking about violence outside of the rap and hip hop culture because it's not just there. I think this is a time it seems so little what I'm voicing right now, but sometimes people just need to hear that. That's not the only place. So we're not gonna suck all of our energy in. Why suck all your energy into that? If you're not sending positive thoughts and prayers that way or coming up with a solution, a way, you know what I'm saying, to talk to people that are interested in going that direction, because you still have young aspiring rappers right now. You got young aspiring musicians. Is it just happening in the rap culture? There's different things happening in different communities across the globe. You know, some things are being more accepted, some things are being more rejected. Can I put it like that? And just about every community you can think of. A city can be a community. A state can be a community, right? A church can be a community. A job could be a community. But there are things changing rapidly, and we all see it. And that's why we're going to talk about the Mermaid movie too, because she's is a black woman playing this role. And I'm like, man, it just seemed like the things that trend, as they call it, trend, it just amazes me these days. Like, and then when it's if topics like that are gonna trend, when certain people stand up and give their opinions and their expressions about it, don't get mad about it. Respect it. But yeah, everybody voice matter. Everybody voice should hold weight about certain topics. Cause what I noticed on that one, we're gonna talk about it in a minute. We had another black woman just play the roles and characters, some with Lion King. Okay, it was people, whether they voiced it or not, they probably didn't like that either. But I wouldn't personally like or dislike a movie. I remember liking the Black Cinderella that Brandy played the role of Cinderella that time. There's a black mermaid, and there seems to be thousands and millions of people upset that she's black. But shout out to Disney and whoever else came together. And like I say, things are being more accepted and other places more rejected. So there's nothing really you can do about that. But become one of the ones that accept or reject something yourself, or not feed in so much of any of it all anyway, right? Just know who you are, what your morals are, principles are, what you're gonna stand on, what you will and won't do, things like that. It's been an interesting closing out of 2022. I can tell you that, even in my own life. But we definitely do our part at Crown Content Publications to try to keep the topics I feel like matter. That, even if you're like, what are you doing by that? What are you doing? How are you helping change things in the world by doing that? But number one, it can inspire others, because some of us, we just got through talking about experience, right? That's just crazy to me. Black actors have played many roles. Why get upset now about the Little Mermaid movie? Somebody went as far. I'm gonna start doing that where I share my screen and screenshots and stuff like that. Just stuff we see on Instagram out here sometimes and all of that. But went as far as to say, well, the Little Mermaid is a European, the old story. Yeah, that's ours, and they need to quit stealing stuff. Like, bro, that's gonna be your argument with the Little Mermaid, with a black woman playing that role. That's really gonna be your argument right now. That that originated in Europe. The story itself, right? Regardless, when Ariel had red hair and she was a white woman, a lot of little black girls watched that movie. What's y'all problem, right? But I try not to feed so much into those type of topics. Really encouraging others too. Just watch the energy that you know. I'm sure we all probably have a lot, but still, we don't have enough time and energy these days to just be um catching it up and just any and everything, right? If you want to go see the movie, go see the movie. You want to support the movie, go support the movie. I told my daughters, man, if they come out with a backpack with the black little mermaid on it, we're gonna get them. Because we've had other Disney character, like, like I say, kids don't see that. They see, and that's who it's predominantly made for. But it's really the adults that's speaking out about their opinions, right? And then you had the new Woman King movie come out recently, I believe, right? That is one I want to see. I'm not gonna lie, but still, like, why do the rate, the actor, the colors, the nationality, the cultures of the people playing a role? Maybe it does matter. But open your eyes around here. If you don't remember anything else I said from this discussion topic this morning? It's like, and it was right there on the tip of my mind, because I've talked about so many different things. It's gonna come back to me, you know. It'll come back to me. But really, really understanding. Let me go back to what we started off talking about first of all, because it was about the rap and hip hop culture and rappers dying. You know what I'm saying? And I really want to just point out, because people can try to pinpoint all day long why, how a person was set up. Once it's already done, that's crazy to me. Once violence goes to the max capacity of unfortunate, what's the word for it? Like, once it gets to that level, that's when people want to investigate why, who, where, especially if it's a public figure. And I'm not saying public figure deaths don't affect people, because they do. They're human. They have families and lives too. That's why I try to be careful on those topics where it was about people losing their lives. I'm making that very clear. I raise awareness about this only because, to me, working towards moving towards a place where these type of things can be avoided as much as possible, not just in the rap and hip hop culture, but where it matters too, which is everyday life with the common people. It's just, I'm pointing that out. It's not just in rap and hip hop culture you're seeing this type of stuff, but does it take people seeing it on a public figure level? before they take it serious, before they begin to assess their lives more and who they're allowing to walk in and out of it, who they are truly trusting with certain information about themselves. We know that celebrities have to be careful moving like that. We know, yeah, we know that. Celebrities have to be careful with how they move. This is why their whole life changes. Once your income level, status level, all of that changes, your whole life changes. We're not just gonna make this about who is setting who up, how Nipsey Hussle left here. We're talking about new age rappers here lately, okay? And to me, the Travis Scott concert violence, that wasn't really violence, that was just some old stuff. It's no different than the people we losing that are rappers, that are just musicians that's out here trying to, do their thing with music, and we're just seeing that on a more mass scale. We all know that. That's the trending topic right now. In some communities. It really is. Because we want to know why this one left here. What is this? We'll look directly at the stories. I see people trying to do, that's what it was. People try that I was gonna say a second ago. Remember anything else I said on her. So there are people trying to learn, call themselves trying to learn or assess what they should assess from what's been happening lately, even the violence that's going on in everyday life, more on a high scale level. We can try to blame Democrats, blame these people. You know, we can do that, or we can assess and try to learn as much as we can from situations that have happened to other people. That's why this other story I'm finna bring up that was in the news recently is going to matter. I don't, like I say, I don't like bringing up the stories about violence and death. Like, it's a few stories. I'm just now getting back on the podcast stream, especially these ones that's in public where you have restaurant workers, really taking it there with customers. We always knew some of them wouldn't take a customer. Like, everybody is not built for customer service to me. But look at how for the dollar, people go get them a job, and then and this right here was on camera. I don't know if it's still going around, but yeah, I think it was a Dollar Tree store. You know, a customer thought she could talk crazy. I don't know. I don't want to say the word thought because this really happened. But she got in a confrontation with the cashier, felt like she could put her hands on the cashier, and the cashier ended up pulling a weapon, man. And all of that was caught on camera. We talking about violence. So it doesn't just happen in the rap and hip hop culture, but what is it about it happening up there first and everybody praising it when it's on Love and Hip Hop, when it's on Flavor of Love? I know that's an old one. I don't know why I brought that up, but when it's on shows like Cheaters, we've been seeing this, right? Like a show like Cheaters, you might see a woman go crazy when that man pull up with her in the car and she catching him or he catching her. They immediately start trying to fight and stuff sometimes. So I just want to point that out to people too. We got so much to say when now it's these public figures and it's our rappers and everything. Um, because the rap and hip hop culture may not be as old as other music genres, but for as long, I mean, we can think back and then boom, violence been there. Violence got incorporated. Violence even was worship in its own small way. It's crazy. And then the times violence wasn't going on, somebody's still being accused of violence. To me, let's look at the root and the facts. If we're gonna talk about all these, like, no, 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 no. I don't care how conscious you is. Don't just blame it on a label. Don't just blame it on. I mean, they tried to probably do the same thing with Suge Knight and all that beef with them. I mean, and he was, I guess, apparently guilty of his sins too. But as individuals, for so long, we have practically praised it. I mean, we was all screaming "Nuck if you buck," right? Like all this violent music. How is it affecting? How has it been affecting uh our society? The rap and hip hop culture, how has it been affecting us? So once again, I'm not here to blame rap and hip hop culture for the violence that's going on everywhere. That's one of the first things I said is we just see it more prevalently and heavily. And people who are fans of the rap and hip hop culture most definitely have been seeing it. Right. Do we have a heart for the ones that really would like? Because, like I say, we probably still got some aspiring ghostwriters, musicians, and things like that out here who might want to use their talent for that specific genre. Upcoming artists, you would call them. Are they paying attention? Are they watching? I mean, are they learning? Is my main fact. If you learn nothing else out of it, I was just trying to voice that we should be trying to LEARN as much as we can from other people's experiences too. And like I say, even in the rap and hip hop culture, try to understand what people are going through before we just judging them. How are you learning something from them judging? I don't know. I get it a little bit, I guess, but learning from it. Whether it was a personal experience or an experience that you just heard about, saw in the media, and you can really place yourself in people's shoes and ask yourself, how am I living my life? How can I avoid this? Woo, woo, woo. Well, another similarity I was noticing is the number of rappers that just be they was in a local home, they was in a local state, like their home areas. They've already hit celebrity status and level, right? Because this is a trendy topic right now. And then, yes, if anybody must know, I was a rap and hip hop culture fanatic. And it's not just because I'm African American, black, whatever you want to call it. You know, there are some talented musicians out there. And, we become fans and stuff like that. But so being a fan, you even see it more like, dang, this is messed up. Like, maybe I can name five off the top of my head. They was in their local. We know about Young Dolph. We can talk about some stuff. I mean, I don't want to name too many names like Mo 3. People that was like, I don't know where Pimp C was when that happened with him, but we just talking specifically about the rap and hip hop culture real quick because I did try to point out already that in different areas of genres of music, deaths have been happening. Be like a past tense, like that's always happened. Sometimes they do too much drugs, they're on tour too much, they get sick. I mean, different reasons. But sometimes life do take it takes people fast. Everybody cannot handle like just same thing I said about customer service jobs. Everybody can't handle the status and lifestyle. And we should be learning. That's why I would say this. This is my conclusion. Everybody can't handle that lifestyle, that status, that level of living. Because why I can name five off the top of my head was in their local where they was probably raised, where they probably know people, right? Where they should probably be all right in their home cities, states, or areas, somewhere surrounding. This is where they end up getting because we're talking about violence. This is where they end up getting murdered. To me, it's something to be learned and assessed through that and what's been going on. Even if we don't know every detail, who said them, oh, like why people looking at that thing? When people be walking around here, it's just I'm just calling it out. We rather call them crazy. We rather ignore or look over what's really going on out here. What you gonna call somebody crazy for if they already assessed? Like Young Dolph, they couldn't call him crazy. It came out whether people knew or not. Once he was actually murdered, how many times hits had been put on? He had records of being in the hospital before for being shot. Same thing with 50 Cent. They not making some of them rappers, they not making that up. They had actually been shot before or what you call it, like attempts, certain public figures. But we just talking about the rap and hip hop culture real quick right now, for example, because to me this is more everybody knows or most fans or that know any that pay attention to that news. It's been happening. People want to more look at how it was set up, who, why, what label, who did it, because they were fans, and I can understand it. But the root to it all is like, look at it deeper, y'all. Like these days, the very little bitty reason, what they call it, the motive, the reasons today a person will go there, will even could be ready to commit violence, has been different to me. It's been stupid out here. Yeah, because we haven't even talked about the other young lady now, and her boyfriend wasn't a rapper or nothing, but this ties in because it was recent news and there was violence involved. Yeah, so new age rappers have been dying more rapidly. It's a trending topic. I believe violence is what's been, resorting to a lot of these, because they've been murders and stuff like that. And sometimes in public, even though they're big time rappers and stuff like that. And like I just mentioned, even in their hometowns. So it's like, what's going on? And lately, it's not always gang related. This is what I'm trying to point out to people. Like, what's been inspiring it lately, post pandemic type stuff, even in the rap and hip hop culture, scares me. Like, little bitty stupid reasons. To me, it's just people going through something they've never been through. And I don't want to use the word spoiled, but they want life to go back to normal so bad. And because they can't control the level of capacity that the world and society and everything is changing around them so fast, they're resorting to any and everything today. So from my perception, it's not always gang related in like the Pac and Biggie days of NWA days. It's not always that type of stuff. Like you hearing the music that's inspiring the violence, like they might have you to think, or the money. Like what? Because why would I even say this? Let's think about it. I don't think so. When you seen somebody like Young Dolph be targeted and attacked long before, because maybe y'all don't remember how many rounds they were saying supposed to have been shot up in his store. That's like hatred type crime here. It's ridiculous. And this is in a new age. This has happened recently. That's just one. That's just one example. Did Young Dolph make somebody jealous? Well, why am I using the word jealous? Because we're finna talk about the things that seem so stupid, the stupid reasons today that people are inspired, influenced, that they're easily enticed. It's money too sometimes. Yeah, especially with those public figures that are famous and all of this, there's celebrities, rap and hip hop culture figures. It probably is money that inspires people, which is still evil. That inspires others to, take these hits out on these guys in the rap and hip hop culture. But I also believe jealousy is involved. Once a person's status is or money changes, right? I mean, and this is not new information. This has probably always been like this. And I don't like that it's always been, it's kind of in its own way been promoted also in the rap and hip hop culture in some rappers' music. They're gonna sit there and tell you how hate come with and jealousy come with who they are now, what they do, how they experienced it long before they became who they are. Are y'all listening to these rappers? Okay. It's just another example or something I'm having y'all to look at when it comes to what has possibly been inspiring the violence in the first place. It's not just the fear of people not, the changes going on in the world, like I just said. It's not just that. Boom. Who wants to speak on that topic? Many people probably already have. I don't like speaking on the topic of jealousy because it's a real emotion out here. Just like we can feel tears because we're sad, we can laugh because something is funny. That's an emotion to me. Laughter is an emotion to me. It's not just a verb. Laughter, a season of laughter, a period of laughter, a morning of laughter. I believe like something like that is real. I'd rather be in a mood, an emotion. Laughter might also be a mood. I'm not here to change how psychologists have already said this. I believe laughter is an emotion. I know they call happy an emotion, but is a person happy just because they laugh sometimes? They'll sit there and tell you people that have committed suicide before in their life laughed every day. People couldn't even tell that they was hurting or that they was in pain or that they was emotionally struggling, mentally struggling with something because they laughed every day. So boom, laughter is I don't want to just say simply an emotion, but I believe it is an emotion, and I believe it's also a verb because it's something that we do. Probably when we're moved to an emotion, something funny to us, we're gonna laugh. So why wouldn't jealousy be just as real? Jealousy might not make you laugh. Yeah, it's not easy for the person that's being envied, and it's probably not easy for the person who has chosen to set their life upon, hey, I just want to be envious of somebody. Because, see, I think jealousy is one of those emotions that is stupid. Because to me, I don't want to talk about the new age rappers that's dying rapidly and not talk about a topic like jealousy being probably just as much as money sometimes is the root cause of somebody resorting to violence. Jealousy, too. And bro, I could probably go down a long list of things that jealousy, y'all haven't noticed this around us in society getting worse and worse. People will envy you over the stupidest things today, and it's just stupid. For once upon a time, people try to give us a perception that, hey, well, people hating on you, you're doing something right, or no, man, this envy that's out here today is not the same. And people's oftentimes, to me, their equilibrium is so knocked off, they're willing to go to the resort of violence. If it's not true, why do we still have so many ID channel, crime show TVs? These be real stories. I mean, that's one way I can get y'all to look at it. And I never have a problem with advocating for there must be other ways in life for us to mediate. You don't always have to agree with a person, talk to them ever again in life. You don't have to, even have your mindset on it. Why just like, no, 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 no. I got to keep coming after a person once they, more people have this spirit than I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if it's a sign like, has music alone inspired that? No, I wouldn't say that. Not even a rap and hip hop culture. Yeah, so let me make that point clear. Once again, I'm using the new age rappers and how that's been happening in that community lately as an example. As an example, that stuff happening in many probably communities, and that's why I would like to encourage people with that too. Cause see, when you was born in this world, you came on your own. Oftentimes, when we leave, you might not have died alone. You might not have been the only one that died that day, that type of stuff. But the fact is, most times it's just you in that casket. It's crazy. Just reminding people of that first. Because now you think you ain't got to watch the community or the organization or, you don't have to watch who you signing, what you signing for $1. You don't know people's character. You don't know who they are. Okay, let's say you meet some people and the deal they gave you is amazing. It's about some money and you want to take it. But one thing you probably didn't take, you read the whole contract, you signed it, y'all made the deal. And what you didn't take the time to do, for example, who are they when they jealous? Because we all probably done been jealous a time or two in our life. Can y'all agree? I would say that we've all been jealous before. But I do think for some reason it's a very childish. I can see a lot of us probably had jealous ways or when we were younger. But like when you become like a grown person with responsibilities and you have you don't, yeah, everybody's not accountable to it or hold themselves to it, but like a mature standard you should be at. And jealousy is just an immature, it's an immature, because I wouldn't call laughter immature emotion. You gonna laugh? Old people laugh. Some of the people been on this earth the longest laugh. But I bet the longer you live, you should. But it's crazy. I've seen old jealous people too. What, regardless of what they was jealous of or what how their heart was, somehow I saw it. Even if it was of one of their family members, it's like I can see it. But in the rap and hip hop culture, why wouldn't that be there too? And they all pretty much they all getting money somehow, but they have to watch the people they connect with. What I tell you, your life change when that income, that status, that what you your profession, whatever it is, once that elevate, once that change in any way, shape, or form, I don't know why. I'm saying learn from these things, but what I've been assessing is, yeah, like jealousy oftentimes comes with it. You've had many artists, not just in the rap and hip hop culture, that lives were taken over an emotion like jealousy. And I mean from grown people. It's crazy. That's why I say I really didn't want to touch on this topic, because I know if I give it from my perception, and I'm just talking on here alone about it, how I see it, we would need to talk about the root cause of where violence comes from in the first place. Should it is it probably good for humans to have some type of violent nature about them? Probably in the mode of self defense or something like that. I never like say, you know, like, oh, violence just bad out here. But it's not a bad thing, but when you're using it for the wrong reasons, and yeah, you just out here hurting people. That's violence for you. So, is violence the new inspiration, the new spark of threats and violence in a new era, in a new age? Y'all remember the Mean Girls movie? I don't think they was just being violent to the girls. See, I used to be a Lindsay Lohan fan myself. Y'all remember Lindsay Lohan? Uh, I love that movie, but I want to use that movie to give you guys a perception of something real quick. Like, for example, I don't know why Mean Girls was the first thing came to me, because there's many movies we can watch, even Disney ones, where somebody was envied and they had really nothing. Now, we're not saying that the character Lindsay Lohan played had nothing, but she was just a different new girl. When she came to that school, to that high school, she was just different, but she wasn't like a high status class, like person, girl, when she dates, she wasn't viewed that way. But if y'all remember, there were people she ended up meeting, friends. They loved her for who she was, right? And she just y'all got to go back and watch that movie. I'm saying, what did they really hate her about at the end of the day? Was it about a boy who ended up liking her, one of the girls, or somebody she was interested in, one of the popular girls, and he likes this different, strange girl where he's at least interested, he watches her, he's looking at her, and his girlfriend can see it? It was this the inspiration of, because what is a young woman if she wasn't, hitting on him back or trying to, why would the other female hate her for that? Mm. It'd be like that in real life too. But my point is, people will resort to violence, and that was just these were high schoolers in this movie. And you can see the end of the movie if you've never seen Mean Girls. I think there's probably even a part two, and I don't know what all they done did with that movie so far, but it's a great example to use when you think about what is it when you really dig deep. I don't care who you are. You could have just been the most violent person and you end up tuning into my podcast one day on this channel, but you never looked at it like this. When you dig deep and ask yourself, what am I really deep inside? Why am I resorting to wanting to physically hurt this person? Just asking yourself that first. And of course, some of us are like Red Bulls. Once you get to that 10, you go there. But I'm glad that I've never felt like I got to resort straight to hurting somebody with my hands or some way to get my way in life. And I hope one day maybe even one of these rappers come across. Like, Somebody needs to talk to him. Don't even go that route of career. If you can't handle, what I had already mentioned, let's remember things change when you get to a certain status, to a certain financial status, income status, whatever it is. Some people get hated on for the most stupid reasons out here, y'all. But I'm saying, is hate, is jealousy? I guess hate and jealousy is separate. But let's say jealousy can make a person go as far as hate with somebody. That's probably even worse. Now you hate the person. Now you hate the person. That's not good. Because if we really think about what hate is, that's probably why violence numbers have rates have went up out here. We'll even see more often in the rap hip hop culture, more domestic violence on that level too, where it's just more coming out more mainstream. These women that have been going through it, and who the rappers is behind the scenes, producers, whoever they are, that's doing it to them. That stuff ain't hidden. When those celebrities get in trouble for something like that, when they in jail for hitting another public state, just doing their wives and girlfriends and baby mamas like that. Oh yeah, that definitely kind of tarnishes their image for a second. Y'all remember Chris Brown and what he went through at one point with Rihanna, but it looks like she's happy today, and we're happy for her at the Crown Content Publications family, because some women don't ever end up getting out of those situations. We've tried to pinpoint for years, I believe, the reasons why women don't end up making it out those situations, but they've definitely come to the conclusion, specialists and professionals in this area of work, that yeah, it's a high percentage of women that don't get out of it, and it's not because they never leave. Sometimes they leave and they keep going back. Okay, how does this topic tie in? We're saying new age rappers have been dying more rapidly, behind violence and in violent ways. That young rapper in Louisiana that had the son, I've been seeing it left and right, even if I call myself not indulging in these stories, and it's just hard to miss it, and it's sad to see. Um, Rappers dying at a more rapid rate versus post pandemic survival, you know, for the industry of rap altogether. Because a lot of artists probably said, well, when COVID came, I'm gonna sit back, relax. I ain't gonna make no music. But we saw the artists who was still working, music still been coming out. Y'all notice that through the whole pandemic, the rap stations, hip hop, you know, social media influence of these figures as well never slowed down, or you still saw them doing their thing, trying to get their views either on TV shows, and a lot of them went through different things too when the pandemic happened. So this was just something that it's already a part of history at this point, but it's so crazy because we live in it. We seeing how it didn't matter if you had y'all remember that video that was going viral of Tom Cruise. He was all like chewing out his staff about not wearing masks because he like, hey, we're gonna finish this production. I will fire y'all. It had went viral for a second. I'm not mocking him. Actually, I thought it was funny because he was still trying to make sure he was working and getting his work done. The safest way he could for everybody on set if he was still going to be doing movies. So I could get his point, but it was just seeing him in that character mode, and he wasn't in a movie. He was talking to his staff. It's an example, but he didn't resort to violence. I just brought that up because I'm like, versus post pandemic survival for the rap and hip hop culture all together. Are we learning from the things around us and what we are seeing? Boom. I would not disregard or not say that the Travis Scott concert, which I believe also happened in latter 21 or early 2022, in recent, where people died, it probably wasn't just like a violent event, but it ties into it because he's not just rap hip hop culture. I know Travis Scott is a different breed and all that, But yeah, that happened out there, and people died, and it was crowded, and it to me it still ties in. Like, look at what's been going on, and what and what is inspiring. Like, let's take accountability too. This stuff has been going on around us, the pandemic and all of that, and different things and viruses that can take people's lives, the diseases and stuff that was already here. You see, but we all seen that already. Like, the pandemic just brought out a different side of people, probably even leaders, probably even celebrity public figures. Just everything changed, rules changed, mandates changed. You had to keep up. So there was a story, guys. I'm finna this the last part, and then I'm off of the domestic violence and whatever. Because domestic violence, the reason I'm tying that into the rap and hip hop culture and the violence we've been seeing with the people that's the rappers that's being targeted and attacked. Everybody quick to say it like, yeah, it had to be somebody close set them up. It's crazy, especially the Young Dolph story. He was in his local, in his stomping grounds. And I can see the message he was trying to preach, huh, with his life. My status can't change. My income can't change because my whole life would have to change. And maybe I don't want this part of my life. I should be able to ride over here in my bulletproof car because the fans know he had bulletproof cars because of so many attacks and targets. But he was not in his car, unfortunately, as the story goes. He wasn't in his car, but he was where he should have been comfortable. I get what I believe he was trying to preach. People was just trying to point out, like, man, he know not to go there. You can't do that when you a celebrity. Like, you can't even. hmm And it's even deeper things to assess and look at. You got Apple Tag. We're not saying any of this had to do with any of these rappers, but people quick to say they was set up and all of this too. But you never know who targeting you on that level, and then you don't know who's doing it just in general. You done pissed somebody off. You done made somebody jealous. These are the new times we living in, whether people want to hear it or not. People are struggling. So I guess they're more easily triggered about certain things or certain ways they view people or certain ways. So this was a most recent story, and that's why I say I don't like talking about the violence topic and what inspires violence. And even if it's happening in the rap and hip hop culture, we would still consider that domestic violence. First of all, because we've already seen artists and them be on the news for the same stuff, or in the media for the same stuff, and women that have gone through it with these artists. Boom. So yeah, it's happening on that level at a more rapid rate. And you might see it on Instagram. You might see like this is a whole different time where people might end up seeing it all, even if you're a public figure. So boom, violence not helping nobody. It's just taking more parents from their kid. All of that, man. And people know this. People know this. I'm telling y'all, humans know this. I'm not saying every situation should be easy as a sliced piece of pie to walk away from. Take it from Arthur to the share. You can find many of my most recent publications on the Amazon Kindle platform. I don't have memoirs or biographies out here yet. I my beginning stories I just wrote trying to use my imagination. They're not children's books, they're short story novels. Uh, God Save the Queen, the shoes she walked in. Uh, Hold on, y'all. Black Blood. Once you type in Arthur Tedasheri, my name should be up there on the Tedasheri. You're not gonna hear that name often anyway. My book's gonna come pop right up. They're ebooks, guys. And we always appreciate your support. We have more publications coming soon, actually, and I've been taking my writing a little more serious, so that comes with my work as well. I'm consuming, I'm learning, keep your schedule going, keep going. And you remember the choices you made, or you gotta remember that in general. If you're right, have faith in your ability to why you do. If you don't, it is possible your own talents, your own skills. To be I said at the beginning, sometimes you're just not even match the whole possibility, like of what could be, how big you take that, or how much you can do with it, or whatever, how many people you inspire, help. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what just happened. It's like, sorry about that. It's like YouTube just booted me out for a second, but I'm back on. I'm back on because there was a lady. I forgot which state this happened in, and I send my positive thoughts and prayers to her family and her parents because they was on the news. Uh, her parents were very hurt, and the reason I want to advocate with them at this time, they don't have to know me, uh, because I had already been looking at this. Now you see it in the rap and hip hop culture, like we were saying, like the rappers and what's been going on, and them being targeted, attacked, and that going on. But these were just what you consider common people, could happen to anybody, but this is just a story that I want to raise awareness about, and it's terrible. And my thoughts and prayers from the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel definitely goes to them. And this story is been in the media, but he her baby father, a young woman's baby father, ended up beheading her. And I just don't like this story at all, man. And the craziest part about it is this probably happens in other countries, like third world countries, probably at a more frequent rate when a woman, you know, is not in compliance with this man or this spouse the way he feels like that's probably like common there. But we it was just a hard one to learn about. So two of the things they were doing, like I mentioned, when they were sharing the story or just sharing their words, and I do believe this guy is in custody at this time. Uh, they definitely said they can see themselves raising awareness more, uh, and they were encouraging as they talked to this reporter at this time to check on your loved ones, check on your daughters, your nieces, uh, because from their point of view, there was no signs of any previous abuse, or but they were admitting like, hey, our daughter was a very independent woman, like determined to take care of her kids by any means, that type of woman. So I was just listening on that level too, because before I even brought this story up, I just got through talking about jealousy, and I'm not saying I know what triggered this baby father or this gentleman to go to the capacity of violence. Well, y'all can check the story out yourself because I think it does reveal a few things, just like text messages and things she was, saying that probably just triggered the man. But come on, man, you went to the resort of violence, that word again, to the point of doing it to her head, and then y'all got a kid or kids together. I think it was just a kid. That's awful. I don't know what kind of weapon he used. I think they said he came over and did that. to her premises or whatever was going on. I just said on any level of beef with any of our enemies out here, because we probably we living in a different time. How can I talk about this topic and just not bring up the book of Revelations or different you had Galileo, all these different people that felt like they could give you predictions about the stars and all of this, and we accept this. But come on, man, let's look at that. I'm not knocking Galileo or any other, person that felt like they had a prediction about something about the future. I'm just saying many people have risen up saying they can see or it's this or that because this is how they see it. So boom, in the book of Revelations, it tells us in the last days people's hearts are gonna wax cold. It talk about famine, it talk about um it don't say the word violence, maybe war. War is not just two countries, two battles of lands going at each other sometimes. Sometimes we can be at war with ourselves. And you got if people are walking around here at war with themselves, at war with, the new changes, the new mandates, the new society and how fast it's going, I mean, there's truth in it to me somewhere. And we're not gonna call it a prediction. This is what they call a book that's in the Bible. The hearts of many will wax cold. Like people just don't have, if they don't have a heart, man, they don't have a conscience. Maybe that's why people don't really want to take this book and how it's written and exactly what it say for what it is. Once a person heart wax cold, one's foes, foes mean enemies would be those of his own household. They don't just have to be in the household where your walls and where you pay rent. Mm-mm. It's just something for us to think about this morning. Of your own household and you see rappers leaving here and they was in their home city or state. They getting robbed. They been getting robbed. They would lots of rappers. They go do shows in a certain city and get robbed. Or this type of stuff was happening to them before they before they even blew up. Yeah, I tell you. And they music, I believe they'll tell you. Some of them was, but that's how it is. You go to a city, trying to go do a show. You got all this jewelry on. I mean, you just figure they feel like you got money. So I knew things was getting bad then. That was before the pandemic. Rappers would go places, and that's crazy, you know. But to each their own. You got to have security, and I just say it. Status, income, everything. People you see more mean on Instagram too, like more people actually more than what they show out on social media and stuff like that too. But once again, the most recent rapper, it has something to do with social media. People love posting pictures and locations and where they at. You can't be doing it out here. We have to learn as individuals as they might just, I mean, come on, it's called raising awareness, especially us as women. But this happened to a rapper. It was a man. And as women, it ain't getting no better. We heard about the girl that set a girl up with her PPP loan money. You just open an investigation. You just open this the type of stuff people doing. It's hurting their own self. You just not only is you serving time now and had kids your own because you had that much jealousy and hate in your heart towards somebody. You know, open an investigation to whether your PPP loan was even legal or not. Come on, man. It's like if I talk about certain topics, let's talk about it like real. And a lot of people with businesses did not, everybody didn't get approved what they would call approved for their money, for their business. There were certain qualifications and things too. In real life, everybody know that. But this was a real story too. That young lady had her hurt and did it with her PPP loan money. I don't know why they mediatized that part, but it was probably to raise awareness for us to be careful. This is where people mentalities head, how far they willing to go. Once that envy, once that jealousy, once whatever that is, that flame in them turns into hate. We can play like HATE is not a four-letter word, just like LOVE is, all we want to. But then we sit back and ask ourselves, whether it's in, like I say, regardless of what community it's in, a black community, whatever culture community it is, music, rap, and hip hop, if we sit back and we're not preaching as much as, we got to watch our back because of the hate. That's a look at it. It's a four-letter word just like love is. They quick to tell you love just a four-letter word, ain't they? Okay. You know what I hit them with? Hate is a four-letter word. That's what I'm gonna start hitting them with. Uh-huh. That's a four-letter word too. Nobody was born loving everybody or having the concept or mentality to where they tell themselves they can love or they're going to love everybody. But see, that's why people have their arguments back and forth. To me, who you choose to be in life, regardless of what religion you say you follow, what you say you believe, you know, your the way you live to me, the way who you choose to be. Some people call it integrity. Some people call it character. Okay. So as humans, I did say that naturally, jealousy is probably a real trait. But if your jealousy taking you to the point of like that story I just mentioned, you hurting somebody because you got some PPP on money. It wasn't about the money. You used the money to get somebody hurt. It's just a story. And are we learning? Are we paying attention? And are we not just a story? A young lady lost her life over there. I mean, whether that was a trendy topic, which it was a big story at the time. It probably and it still is because I'm talking about it. And this young lady probably had kids and family and over people. And yeah, a man choosing another woman and stuff like that is not always the case with when it comes to women because women also have they probably the most jealous creatures probably, but men also we just saw this rapper another story, you know, it don't take but one to be like, I don't like a person. To them, they just don't like them, you know. But really, we can look at it and be like, okay, is jealousy, hate a factor? Because we feel like we can make all these hashtag red flags. We know what red flags are. Come on, man, it's time to do better. Everybody know what a red flag is on social media. We're raising awareness because the red flag should also ring bells in real life. If a person is walking around and they choosing to be single, they choosing to live their life as independent and quietly as they want to, because you got some public figures that do it. It's a lot of public figures we don't see all the time. We know they celebrities. We probably just don't see them, voicing their opinion all the time, or mostly all of them at least got some type of social media or YouTube channel. Not like them talking, but probably biographies, different things you can go check out. They music, they work, but a lot of them you don't see just in publicity like that all the time. They made their money. They just chilling. They live their life. You know, when we see people like this, we can't just automatically resort to the point of like, oh, okay, they crazy. Like I gotta have a circle. I gotta have somebody. People can live like that. Y'all know who Patrick is from SpongeBob? The man lives under a rock. The star, Patrick the Star. Well, anyways, for the most part, he lives like an independent life. Nobody wants to look at Patrick like that, but he got his buddy. You see his buddy he trusts, and he don't have kids. One episode, Patrick's parents came over. I said, Patrick got parents, but sometimes we're not saying live under a rock. We're not saying you can't help nobody from. It's different ways to help people. We're not saying you can't care. You can be who you are. You can be who you are, because who you are, that's what's gonna matter at the end of the day. Am I the person? Who am I when jealousy there, when envy there? Do I resort to the point of hate? Is that me these days? It's so much going on in the world. So that's the best. That's the first thing I am hateful. No, that's not me. Envious. Nope, not during these times. We have to assess our lives. What do we have to lose? Hey, stop it. Emery, when they knock, sorry about that, y'all. I'm waiting on a DoorDash order. Happy Saturday to y'all out there. Happy Saturday morning. I wanted to do a Saturday sunrise discussion topic because to me, violence is the root. It has a root, is what I mean. We know they say money is the root of all evil. Did the word violence in there? Is violence evil? This baby daddy cut off his baby mama head. Literally. They say he was kind of like schizophrenic. He would always like use that as an excuse for other just behaviors. And a woman, you can't blame her for wanting to get away from something like that. Not even the man that's acting like that. Come on, man. Especially y'all got a kid. Let her go on about her business and take care of that child. It didn't have to result to that type of violence to me with that story. Raising awareness. They may have a GoFundMe somewhere, you know, but anybody can go look that story up, and we definitely send our prayers and thoughts to their family. Are we learning? Because you may not have had that experience, but do you sit back and judge? Or do you learn? How is you learning and you judging? You already got to have some experience before you judge. I would assume, have you walked in those shoes before you judge your parents or family? What's going on? He is. Like, what makes a man go to that level? We can ask that question all day. But to me, if it's already a rising problem in general, even women, I just talked about the PPP loan story. You did another woman like that with that money. If the feds found out about that, sister, jealousy ain't worth it. Violence not worth it to me. If you ain't had nobody to tell you, it's okay to know how to defend yourself if it has to come to that level. I gotta hear that too. Women getting ourselves, I mean, some people already resorting to just telling us to care. We all need to be cared. Us are going, they're in the gym, getting fit, they're taking classes, self-defense classes. And men, I guess, have to be the same way because it's just a lot going on out here. War doesn't always just mean like everybody already resorting to the thought of World War III and stuff like that. But wars can be as silent, as little. They happen all the time, battles. The only thing can ever kind of diffuse that is like a understanding, a negotiation. Something that, once again, at the end of the day, communication. Communication is still a part of the negotiation. Have y'all ever thought about that? Ain't nobody ever negotiated without them having to exchange some words or discuss, which is what you call communicate. Why do negotiations happen in the first place? Two, maybe more parties disagree on a matter. We could be that level of humans if we wanted to, and everybody negotiating, everybody being mature, everybody being grown, everybody having the communication that it takes for a healthy, functioning society. It's just communication, and we can't be scared of it when we call ourselves grown. It's just communication. We can't be scared of it if we say we know what we want in life. Are we striving for it? Do we really just get one? Are we doing what we can to be a part of the change that we claim that we want to see? We know violence hurts. We know death hurts. New life sometimes hurts. That's why birth hurts. But we all know those facts. And it hurts communities when we start losing people in certain way, or when the word come out, uh when people become aware that something like that has been going on, violence, abuse, whatever you want to call it, because it can happen to anybody. To me, if Young Dolph had already been shot, like 50 Cent, that's a form of that's a form of abuse. Somebody really came that far and tried to take your life. Kanye West. hmm That's like if we haven't walked in those shoes, you know, some of us we can feel targeted. Have we been shot at and the bullet actually penetrated? It hit us. Do we know somebody? Because this is violence. This is a form of it. Okay, using our hands is a form of it. Using a weapon, whatever it is, it's a form of it. Sometimes using no physical weapon at all is a form of it. That's why I had to go ahead and throw that word abuse in there. And how more quickly on that level people are ready. They don't want to admit it. They already read. They don't even know it's in their heart. I'm here to just remind people and bring it out. Let's check ourselves. Communication, once again, okay, other people say it rules the nation. Communication. I'm saying it has always been through the form of communication. No matter who don't want to look at that and admit that and see that way. How are we communicating through war and violence? Well, maybe this is how it's always been. We can't communicate. We can't come to no type of other level of agreement. They have something called United Peace Corps, all kind of things out here, and we still can't come to. To me, it's more of a human problem. We love humans. What humans' highest form of power to me is love. That's the crazy part about it. Everything has an opposite. If there's violence and hate, then there's love and unity. We've always all said and probably agreed that that would be the best thing for the world, but we've seen everything but. We've also seen healthy functioning societies, but it's always been that one few small community, great community of the lower class, of the poor. Why is it that way? If we're working towards more, because that unity would X that out. Forms of power and levels of power have always existed. I just think that over time, the fight for it, it's like everybody main goal, because everybody that chooses independence or individual, more independent life is not seeking power. I believe it, but That's one of the main traits of a narcissist. They'll tell you, like a manipulator, a person already ready to do violence. They uh they only care about themselves. Like they're really self-absorbed. So you got to watch it on both sides. But everybody that's living this independent and trying to put themselves first and self-love is not uh narcissist or after controlling things like that. So we want to be careful not to misjudge one another out here too. That's a form of love. Love ain't always just to give somebody, share with you how they what we do, our actions. Showing somebody you care enough. You know what I'm saying? To work on yourself first. I think that's a great topic. And I already kind of spoke on because I was going to speak on a Little Mermaid topic, but that was just my opinion about it. This ain't the first like black Disney. We loved the Princess and the Frog. They didn't say nothing about that. Miss Tiana and the character, she was black. The movie setting, it was in Louisiana. I mean, I love that movie. So my opinion about it, I have to be on the side of it. If that people gonna make that a discussion and a trending topic, there is nothing wrong with a black Little Mermaid. What's wrong with them out there? It's for the kids. But if they want to go back and forth amongst themselves about how it's right or wrong, it still don't matter. People want to see it. Or when it come out and it's streaming, people will pay to see it. On their TVs, you can't stop that. The production has already been done, and you think your opinion on her race matters because of where the story originated from. But if they knew where it originated from and they want to bring that up, there's totally Black history in Europe. And a lot of the European cultures, a lot of people know, or things they indulge in, or they appreciate or have learned about came from other cultures, and not a specific one. So it's okay for Disney to do a mermaid movie. That's my opinion about it. Y'all have a happy sunrise Saturday out there. I'm about to get some more breakfast in my system. But if you want to contact us, I'm gonna leave it in the comments on the channel, not in the comment section. The link to reserve a slot to become a guest on our show to market or promote your independent worker services in 2022 on our YouTube channel and our podcast show. You can go back and check out our previously recorded YouTube channel interviews with authors and entrepreneurs as well, right here on the Crown Content Publications channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to give this video a like. All right, because we got other interesting topics coming, and we're going to have more interviews, even some poetry, virtual poetry contests coming up, different things like that. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for tuning in to my video podcast live this morning. Don't forget to give this video a like. Thank you for your support, and until next time.